Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are installing an upgrade to the stereo system that we have. We're not changing the head unit, we're only doing the speakers, amplifier, and subwoofer. And I decided to go with OEM. There's a few products on the market, but nothing as integrated as OEM system. It's plug and play, it's super simple. I did opt for the amplifier for the subwoofer as well as the regular amplifier for the system. So we got dual amplifiers, they both mount underneath the driver's seat. Take a look, it's a pretty cool system. So you got your backdoor speakers here. You got your subwoofer that integrates behind the rear passenger, behind the driver's seat. You got all your pre-done wires. You got your tweeters for your dash. Both amplifiers are mounted to the underseat bracket, and you have your driver's door speakers. Let's install it and see how loud it is. Hello, and welcome to Midlife Crisis. My name is Aaron, and I invite you to follow along with me and my son Austin on our journey as we build out a few camper vans and customize a new Toyota Tacoma into a beast. Then later in the year, we'll head out to Southeast Asia to ride a couple of adventure bikes through multiple countries, sharing the amazing experience with our viewers and ending our tour in Thailand. There, we will decide what to do next. Maybe buy a sailboat and sail around the world. Who knows? So please hit subscribe and follow us on this adventure. Okay, before we get started, we need to set up a baseline. So I have my fancy dancy little, whatever you want to call it, sound level meter. So it registers our sound under decibels, obviously. I've downloaded 3 songs from Epidemic Sound off our account there, so it's not copyrighted music. I've got a rock and roll one. It's pretty much metal. It's what we listen to. And it's then we've got a country one. We'll start with the country so we don't scare you. Shush. And then we've got an epic, like, theatrical one that we can use because it'll pick up the bass speaker as well. So let's register the decibels. I'm going to put it on 20, and then I'm going to do it at 30, level 20 and level 30. It goes higher and lower, but you don't need to hear all that. So let's all default. Let's just set it up here. Got our little country. Here we go. Right in the middle of the cab. We're at about 50 decibels on 20. Let's do 30. That's right about 60. Let's switch it up a little bit here. Oh yeah, here we go. Good times. Are you ready? Oh, we gotta turn it down to, well, we'll start at 30. What the hell? That's 20. This will give us a good check on the bass once we get the bass speaker installed. So with this song, we're at about 53 at 20. About 65, level 30. All right, let's try our theatrical deal here. I had to download them to my phone, so it takes a second.
That's a weird name.
It's a name of the song is Shallow, like me. It's so shallow. If you can hear that, it's going to sound really nice when it's loud, but decibel wise, it's right around 50 again. Let's go to 30. get the loud part. Oh, here we go. About 60, about the same. But this will be really cool if we... What are you doing? I'm in control here. Just sit and be a passenger. All right, so... But this will be pretty epic if you have the system all installed, and we'll test it out because I want to get that bass going. But just stock at 50. Yeah, that's about 75 decibels at level 50 on the stereo. So that's kind of a baseline. We got it all set up. Now we'll get going on installing this thing. I'll show you what tools we need. Okay, as I mentioned, we're going to do this in two separate videos. One install will be as if you just wanted to replace the factory speakers in the doors, the tweeter, up in the dash. We'll do that in one video, and then we'll follow that up with bass speaker and amplifier installed to the head unit and wire it to the battery. So in tools, you're going to need a 10 millimeter, 14 millimeter, an extension or two, of course your ratchet. You're going to need your pry tool for a lot of these little plastic inserts. I don't need a tape measure. I don't know why that's there. I might need some cutting tools for the wiring up in the hood later on. We're going to need the special tool that I love to use. For the second video, we have to modify the plastic compartment behind the rear seat. And of course, I just have a 10 millimeter ratchet gun to make things go faster. So let's get to tearing off some door panels. All right, first thing we're going to do is pull this out. So I'm going to use a little tiny screwdriver to get that off of there so I don't scratch anything. And we're going to use our 10 millimeter ratchet. Pull that off. We're going to coerce this out gently. It has a little doohickey on there. And we're going to use our pry tool here. Not that one because it fell out, but there we go. Okay. Set that aside. And we need our 10 millimeter ratchet. Okay. Pull that up. Going to be a little push on the back here. Push that in and work it loose. That. Grab our new fancy dancy little speaker. Only goes in one way. Put that in. Set it back down here. And line up your holes using your original bolts. Good enough. Slide this little doohickey back on here. There's a couple clips in the front here. He's clipping in here like so, right there. It should just come right down. There we go. Boom. And we just, this is an airbag, by the way, so be very careful. You want to use your finger over here on this side to pull this back so you can get this behind there. And then just gently work it down in there. Make sure I got this in there right. Don't want to mess anything up. Behind the rubber molding here. There we go. There. Perfect. A little bolt. Oops. Oh, that is backwards. Oh, I had it right the first time, I think. There we go. Ta-da! All right. Then you just repeat the process on the other side. But the other side you have 2 bolts because you have the oh shit handle over there. For your passengers, so just repeat the same process on the other side. All right, for your front doors, your driver and passenger front doors, we're going to gently remove this, trying not to break the plastic clips inside. Come on, baby. So these little pieces, you just pull them right out, and they will go right back on the clips like that. So truth be told, I did the passenger side one and I broke the attachment. So Gorilla Super Glue. That's why I said be really careful and gentle. Not a manhandler like me. All right, next we have, where's my little plastic tool? There. This little plastic piece right here. Let's take that out. You've got a little piece of carpet in your door handle. And these are 2 different size screws. This one's going to be your thinner one with kind of a washer head on it. And this one in your door handle is kind of a brute of a big screw. Just remember which one goes where. Next, we're going to pop this off. And I like using my little screwdriver to get down in there, because these plastic things can scratch what you got going on here. Just pop that straight up. Got a whole bunch of clasps here that have to come off. There you go. Just use your little screwdriver and push it in down here. Whoops, just locked everything. And she's off. All right, so now you just gently break this loose with your hands. And this should pop up. Oh, we got one last one I forgot about, sorry. Just push this in, that'll disengage the pin, and then just push it back through so you can reset it. There we go. Just set that down there. screws. 10mm. Clip right there. Just pinch that, pull that out. Garbage can. This is going to reverse the polarity of your speaker wires, so you do need to use them. Just clip that in there. Okay, so we got some Kills mat here we're going to install to help with the vibration since they're bigger speakers. Plate off there. Slide this inside. Just helps with sound deadening. Yeah, one more, just for good measure. This one on top. Don't stick too soon. Oh, for the love of God. All right, we got our Kills in there. Let's toss this speaker in. Strip them out. All right. That. Come on. Ta-da. We're just going to zip tie this real quick. One more down here. Okay. More stuff. Make sure any of the little units that pop into your door like this, if they fall out, this one goes, let's see, right here. So just put them back in if they don't come out. And doesn't look like we're missing anything else. So just reinsert our door handle in here. It should just click in here like that. And there's a back plastic piece that will line up with this piece where the hole is for the screw. And then we just want to rest this, kind of tilt it out and let it slide down into that window well. Make sure our piece didn't move, our hole is good. So we can screw those back in. Remember, the skinny screw goes on top. Our fat screw goes on the bottom. large connector. And it goes in one way. Alright. Clickety click. It goes in one way. Sorry, I'm blocking your shot there. Come on. There you go. Just sits down right back in there. Drop our little carpet piece on there. We've got this hole here with that little plug. Pull that out. Stick it in. Push it in. And then you got your A-pillar piece. 3 of those just line up. Done. And then our last little piece just clips right back in there. There you go. Speaker is done. Let's get to the back seat ones. Okay, and I have a real treat for you. Austin's going to show you how to take the speaker out of the back door so we can wrap this build up. Go ahead, Austin.
Okay, so first you're going to want to take either this back piece under here for the 2 screws, or you could start here. It's all about personal preference.
Just pick one and go.
Right here is a good spot to detach this.
And just pull it up. Yeah?
Yep.
There you go.
Up
Awesome.
the back piece so you don't...
It should just pop out. There we go.
Gotta get this little clamp.
There it is. Right there on the inside.
Get to use my long nails.
There you go. And you got a little carpet down in here you got to pull out to get to that screw, and then you've got, while you got the tool in your hand, true.
Nice and
Gentle like. There we go.
those 2.
And you want to note too that both of those screws are different sizes.
This bottom one is short
and fat.
Short and fat,
And
long
the
and skinny.
Top one's skinny. So make sure they go back in the same spot. Okay, then you got
Here. I'm gonna poke this little guy.
Poke that in, and then you should be able to
Oh yeah.
pull that out with your fingernail.
Up here, start. Got stuff falling down.
And you gotta be careful, these will
Okay,
tug on it.
we're good. It can stay in.
Can it stay in? Oh,
Can.
it just came out. There we go.
This piece can
So
stay in.
these, hold that, Austin. So these pieces, they stay in the door. I don't know if you can see that. They're little clips. So the tiny little clips, you just pinch them and pull them out, and then go ahead and put them right back on where they came from. And we heard one drop down the door, so we'll have to chase that one. Oops. But you get the idea. Just
don't lose them.
clip those back on. There should be 3 of them. Got that one?
Lost that one.
Yeah. We'll have to shake the door and see if we can get it to fall to the bottom and pull it out. And then,
Okay. Then,
gently,
from the bottom,
gently,
feel the catches. Just a little force. Gently. Be aware of the
handle.
handle. That's the word.
It's going to disengage, and you can release it from the back here. There you go. So this just stays right like it is.
Make sure you find all these little clips. Make sure there's none left in the door, and you put them back in this side piece.
Yeah. Did any come out? Nope. Looks like are they all in the door? Sweet. Good job.
Just gotta find that.
Okay, we're going to take a break intermission. We're going to find that little clip and we'll get back to the install. Okay, so we did have this clip here fell down through and landed down here in the bottom. So we just pulled this away, and you can reseal it. This is basically just a moisture barrier, and you have to pull this little panel off and get your fingers down in there and get it. But we did. So let's continue.
So next, you're gonna wanna take this little clip out. There's another push-in. There you go.
Okay.
And you're gonna have your, what's this, 10?
10 millimeter.
10 mil. Here in the camera.
And then what do we do with that speaker?
With what?
What do we do with that speaker? That's right. Did you hear that plastic just hit the ground? Such garbage. Now, how's the new speaker come?
Look at this magnet.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyways, so with this is an adapter for the back piece, because in the front there's a bigger.
You can see the connection is different on the back speaker. No, gentle. On the front speaker, they have this connection here, this form. So what they do is they give you an adapter. Whoa, hey. They give you an adapter for the correct connection to the house. Well, let's go ahead and bolt it in first and worry about connection later.
Okay.
Now there's before you get going, there's a clip here, so you want to take that out. And you have to clip this in the door up like that and then twist it to where it belongs. And then you can put your screw in. Okay. Good job.
I knew what I was doing.
I know you did.
And then you go backwards.
Nope.
Oh wait. Yep. Too fast.
And then let's zip tie this up here so that it's out of the way, just right here.
Like your hands are in the way?
A light zip tie. Don't have to pull it tight. There you go. Get your scrap off. And then get your panel.
One thing. It'd be easier to put this in first.
Yes. So that just slides through and then kind of clamps in place. Push down.
I'll hold it.
So there you go. Nope, it didn't clip. There. That should be it. And then let your top rest. Push it against the window and then slide it down.
Got it.
Make sure it's good. Make sure your hole is still lined up.
Remember?
I'm talking to the camera. Make sure your hole is lined up there so you can get your screw back in. Because if this thing shifts, it'll block the hole.
Remember,
Before you
skinny
do that,
up top.
why don't you put your rest of your door together and don't we need to do something?
Pound it.
Push it in. The clips are just around the exterior. And then you've got a clip that goes back in here. So we got this clip. And then just poke that little thing in. There you go. And then we have a panel here that we put all of our, you see these little white things? You have to put them back on so that they will lock into place. There you go. Looks good. We've got our two screws. Remember, the fat one goes in the bottom, and the one with a washer kind of built into it goes up top. And you just want to screw them in gently. That's it. In the hole. You got your little pieces you took out, and you put those back in your plastic plate. Looks good. Control panel. Only goes in one way.
Get this front piece up in first. Make sure it's all.
Ta-da! All right, there it is, all installed. Looks just factory. So we'll get this all wrapped up, and we'll then do our sound check for the new speakers. So stay tuned. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you the difference between the new speakers and the stock speakers. So these are carbon fiber inserts. You've got a pretty decent little tweeter here. Stock one is paper. It's all paper, and it is super lightweight, super flimsy. This is your stock speaker here. So a considerable upgrade. Magnet, everything is much larger. Same thing with the rear speaker. It's actually a very large magnet. It's got a dome tweeter built into it, so it's not actually touching. And this one is just absolute plastic. Feels like a vinyl. That one feels like paper. Anyway, a significant upgrade. Okay, to start our amp installation, we need to get the seat out of the way. Just pry these little plastic doohickeys up. Come on. Disconnect those. There we go. Need a 14 millimeter socket. Really quick. Come on. Oh man, they are in there, aren't they? Okay, that's all you have to do back here. Now we need to move this seat all the way back and go from the front. And for the front, we're just going to take these two out by hand first. My little impact wrench just doesn't have the horsepower like Air Tools do, so we got to loosen these up first. Oy. Then we can make it quicker. Easy enough. Now, just want to tilt that back like so we can get access underneath it. And now we're going to go ahead and pull up this panel to work on getting the amplifier, and then we'll start moving our way back. Okay, so we've removed the kick plate, which basically is a plastic screw in the back here, and two clips along the wall here. And of course we've just pulled up the side. This just pops right out. There's no bolts or anything. I've gone ahead and taken the carpet clip here. I've removed these clips so that we can get through here and do our wiring. We're going to wire the amplifier underneath the seat first, and then once I have that in, I'll show you what we did, because it's very confined in here, so it's hard to film and explain everything I'm doing. And then there is a ground wire underneath the insulation foam here. Underneath there is your ground wire. That's where your amplifier is going to connect. And then you just have the power wires that will go to the engine location. So let me get started on that, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay. Now that we've got everything in, we have our base cable right here, all going back to the back. We have our head unit cable going up to the front, and we'll continue that in a moment. Everything has to be behind this big pillar here. The ground is underneath the foam padding about right here, and you bolt that in. And then all of this, which is extremely confining, gets bolted in underneath the seat. So you got your power plugged in here, you got your 20-pin connector here. This goes out to the subwoofer unit here, and then that has a cable that comes out that you plug into your other cable, and you run that out, and that's what this one is that goes out to the back. So that was a little time consuming. Just take your time. It's very difficult to get these bolts in up here just because I have big fat hands. So just take your time, do it right, and now we'll get on to the bass speaker. Okay, for the bass speaker, we've taken our wire here and tucked it underneath there. Just drop it underneath there, run it to the back. To get this out, you have to remove the seat belt bolt. It is a 14 millimeter, and then you take the rubber molding off alongside here, and you're able to grab a hold of this and just push it out. You don't have to remove the whole panel, and then just feed the wire back through here and grab it here. Make sure it stays underneath everything. Lock it into your channel, and then you're ready to go to the next step. I'm going to put this back in, put the bolt back in, and we're done with that section. Okay, we got that back on, and the molding goes right over the top of the edge. Everything looks just like it did original. Now we've pulled off the two plastic cover plates here off of these, and this is a 14 millimeter bolt. We're going to pop this thing out, and then we're going to pop this piece out here. We've got 1, 2, and I think there's a third. Nope, just the 2 bolts, and then this piece should slide out after we get this out of the way. So let's do that. Okay, once you get the box out from behind the seat, it's a nice little compartment. We have to remove this section here, and then we have to cut along here up until this line right here. So to pop this thing off, you basically just take your razor blade and cut these little rubber, whatever you want to call them. They're hot glued so it melts the plastic to itself. And then we take our tool, get it up underneath here, and just pry all these loose. So we're going to do that, pry them all loose, go all the way around, take that out, and then we'll take a cutter and we'll cut all this out, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. Okay, so here you can see I've cut out the back, and this is why you have to do that, because this bass speaker sticks out from where I cut it right here. All this extra space you need in the back there. So we did cut it from here all the way across and then down this side so that that can fit in. Of course, you got your bass speaker connection. So let's go get this installed. Okay, now that we've got it run down through here, what I did, instead of having to take this piece off because it's a big pain in the butt, is I just lifted this corner up, I snuck it underneath here. Well, first I ran it back behind here up into this area. Then you can get your finger underneath and into the cavity, so I started shoving the wire in there, and then I lifted this portion up and snuck it underneath here so I didn't have to take this piece out at all. And then it just kind of runs back in here, and you can tuck it up underneath the panel. Don't rub that out. Anyway, got this in. So while I was working on this, Austin put some kills mat in the back here for me. You can see there. Now we're going to put the pad that they give you to put back here, and we'll get the speaker installed. We'll put the excess wiring, we'll shove it back into this corner here, and it plugs in on this side. So let's get that done. Okay, so now we need to get all of our head unit wiring with all of our connectors up here, and our gain control for our bass speaker all up underneath here to the back side of this head unit that we're going to pull off here shortly. While I was working on the bass speaker, Austin went ahead and got the power wire up into the engine compartment so we can get that all wired up as well. So let's get working on that and I'll show you my progress. Okay, so the head unit just comes off. It's got these clips all in the back. If any of them get stuck in there, you just take them out and put them back on the unit here. So this we just set aside. We're going to have 4 10mm bolts that we need to take out to get access to the back. But before we do all that wiring, of course, we need to bring the wiring up underneath and into the compartment and then get everything tidied away inside. When I get back to you, I will show you the wiring for the head unit. Okay, I opted to take this panel off because it's just easier, my big fat hands, and apparently I'm a little too big to fit into this compartment upside down. So we need to get this up into the radio compartment. We also need to get this up there. This is the plug for the bass gain control, which we're going to put inside the glove box just to keep it out of the way. So all this stuff needs to go up and through here, and it's just way too hard trying to do it underneath with this panel on. So we're going to go ahead and get this stuff wired up into the compartment, and then we'll show you when we're done. Okay, now that we've got all of our wires up from the back, we have a 10-pin and a 6-pin female and 10-pin 6-pin male. They give you the adapters for those, so these will go into these, and these will go into this, and then we'll be replacing this one. So let's get that done and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's what it looks like when you plug in your 2 adapters. You can only do it one way, so you can't screw it up. So you have a female here. This is going to go into your factory connector here. If we can do that, we'll get that. I'll make sure that's in right. And then this one over here is going to go into your stock radio down here, like that. And then we shove all this crap back in there and we get the radio mounted back up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, well there you have it. She's all back to normal. Head unit's in, plugged in, everything works. As you can see, we got no visible lines of it ever being done. And there's our bass speaker, all nicely installed. Pretty cool. We did the wiring up through the firewall, as I mentioned. So we brought that up through there, back down underneath all this stuff. We wired it to their fuses, and we wired it to our junction area here for the auxiliary battery. And just leave that tucked in under there, but that's where the fuses go for the 2 amplifiers. So we're all wrapped up. That's another That's another video for us. We will do the sound test before we wrap this all up. So stay tuned for that. Holy crap, there's a humongous difference. Okay, I was just jamming out to some of my not copyright usable music, and there is an amazing difference in the sound system. Let me try one of these other songs that I tested earlier, see how they do. The bass is way off the chart. Sorry for my neighbors. All right, let's do the theatrical one. See how that sounds. Oops, that's the country one. That was pretty good too. It's very crisp. You can hear the tweeters where I couldn't hear them before. You can definitely hear the distinction. set of tweeters in the rear passenger speakers. That's so much better. All right, let's do the theatrical one. And then I have to listen to some mandatory Metallica. Blackened. I'm nuts. Here we go. Sounds like the starting of a movie. It's so crisp. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it through the GoPro, but it's absolutely crisp. And the bass is, I was listening to, well, I won't say, but I was listening to something else, and the bass was shaking the truck. I'm surprised my neighbors haven't come over yet in the office complex. Yeah, 100% better. I don't know what to tell you. So that kind of wraps up our install. This is the OEM upgrade. So you get the 2 tweeter speakers, you get the 2 front door speakers, the rear door speakers, and the 8-inch amplifier, or excuse me, 8-inch subwoofer with its own dedicated amplifier, which also gives you something I didn't show you in the install. Is we have a bass fade button. I've installed it in the glove box because it has a really bright blue light that I don't want to see while I'm driving around, even though all my lights in the truck are set to blue. But so you can adjust that for how much distortion you want coming out of the bass. I like it about right in the middle. I want to feel it, but I don't want it overwhelming. So that's it. I'm extremely happy. I want to thank Daniel over there at OEM. There was a part missing when they shipped it, and he got it over to me next day air. It was perfect, so we got the install completed. Notice I do have a different shirt on because of that. That was for the rear speakers. Not a big deal on my part. They were apologetic upside one and down the other, and that's why they next day aired it to me. Couldn't be happier. Instructions are really well written. On their website, they do a very slow install video to show you how to do it so you don't mess anything up, as I'm prone to do. 100% happy. Can't wait to be cruising down the street banging the doors off. Oh, and we did put kills mat in the doors and on the back wall of the truck. I don't know if that came through in the video or not, but just to make sure you know that. That helps deaden a lot of the vibrations as well, so we don't get any rattling from the truck. But other than that, I'm done. I'm 100% happy. Can't wait to crank it. If you got any benefit out of this, please subscribe, hit that like button for us. It really helps our algorithm and grow our channel. And I got to get around to putting that damn air compressor in so we can get the wifey kit set up on all 4 wheels and do some rock crawling. See you soon.